When visitors come to Denali, they may see a few things we do in terms of our sustainable practices. Besides the fact that we use buses to access the park for visitors, we have road restrictions on private vehicles, and so it means that instead of a lot of private vehicles on the park road, we're able to provide a more wilderness feel and protect.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. We interrupt this programming for an emergency alert affecting Denali National Park, Alaska. This is a regional alert. Attention all persons within and surrounding Denali National Park, Alaska. This is not a test. Anomalous entities have been sighted within the park. These entities are considered highly dangerous. The entities have been identified as creatures originating from creatures of Scenaria. They are similar to the creatures observed recently in Florida. These include, but may not be limited to, Gartacus, Senecara, and Nectskinerin. These creatures have not yet exhibited hostile behavior towards humans. However, due to their size and unknown nature, they pose a significant threat. Description of the entities. Gartacus. A 45-foot-tall, 60-foot-long bipedal creature covered in heavy fur with large horns and lights dangling from them. Senecara. 8 to 10-foot-tall deer-like creatures with candles in their antlers and a waxy substance oozing down their sides. Nectskinerin. 15-foot-tall creatures with chains hanging off its limbs, a white smile with a large forked tongue, and a large wooden bucket on its back. If you see any of these creatures, immediately flee the area. Move as quickly and as safely as possible away from the entity. Once you are in a safe location, report the sighting to your local authorities. Provide as much detail as possible regarding the location, time, and description of the creature. Currently, sightings have been limited to within the national park boundaries. However, extreme vigilance is advised if you are in or around the park. Stay alert, avoid unnecessary travel within Denali National Park, and be prepared to evacuate if instructed by authorities. This is an official emergency alert system transmission. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.
Good morning, Anchorage, Alaska. Jenna Kunz here with Anchorage Daily News, and we have a special story coming out of Denali National Park. A rapidly developing story is ongoing involving numerous anomalous entities within the park. These entities have been identified as Gartacus, Senecara, and Nectskinerin. These organisms originate from a popular game called Creatures of Scenaria. So far, no injuries or deaths have been reported from these animals, but an emergency alert went out a few hours ago telling people within and around the park to stay on high alert in case the situation becomes dangerous. I must say, this situation is eerily similar to the incident about a week ago down in Florida, with the Everglades massacre. It isn't clear where these organisms came from, and government officials are stumped on how they managed to enter reality from their video games. We will give you more updates as this situation progresses. Jenna Kunz with Anchorage Daily News, signing off.
So, I wanted to talk about the recent meeting between our two leads. Do you really think it's a good idea to take the
Hardly at all. Don't you remember what happened with the giant crocodile thing down in the Everglades? Came in contact with hunters who thought they just hit the jackpot and it went savage. Can you even imagine what stealing?
I am not opposed to the idea. Maybe they could take both but train the to be obedient.
I still think that's a terrible idea. Why don't we just leave them be until we have an actual reason to capture them? The creatures seem to be docile until they're threatened.
If it's done correctly, I am sure it's possible.
For sure. But they should order an evacuation of Denali if they decide to follow through with this, in case the worst happens.
Ugh, please, you're freaking out over nothing. It'll be just fine. Just sit back and don't worry.
Fine, but don't come running to me when that 50-foot alien tank wipes out half the Denali population, okay?
Yeah, sure.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. A severe emergency exists within Denali National Park and surrounding areas. This is not a test. This is a regional emergency alert. A mandatory lockdown is in effect. An extremely dangerous situation is unfolding within Denali National Park. A large, hostile creature, identified as a Gartocus, is currently on a rampage. This creature is approximately 50 feet tall and 60 feet long, and poses an immediate and significant threat to all life. The Gartocus is exhibiting extremely aggressive behavior and is lethal. Immediate action is required to ensure your safety. All persons within Denali National Park are ordered to immediately evacuate the park. Proceed to the nearest exit point in a safe and orderly manner. Assist others if possible, but prioritize your own safety. If you are unable to evacuate, seek immediate shelter in the most secure building available. Lock all doors and windows, and stay away from exterior walls. Towns within 20 miles of Denali National Park should prepare for possible evacuation. Monitor this station for further instructions. Do not attempt to approach, engage, or confront the creature. First responders are on the scene, but the situation remains extremely dangerous. This lockdown will remain in effect until further notice. Failure to comply with these instructions could result in serious injury or death. Repeat, this is a mandatory lockdown. Evacuate Denali National Park immediately, or seek secure shelter. Towns near the park, prepare for potential evacuation. This transmission is being broadcast on all available channels. Please share this information with others in the affected area. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.
Life isn't measured in how many days we have, but what we do with them. This year you could do what you've always done, or you could awaken your senses and connect with the world as it was meant to be. That voice inside you, that's Alaska calling. Because vacations, like days, are measured by what we do with them. And here, the days last.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. We interrupt this programming to bring you an urgent message. This is a regional emergency alert. An extreme wildfire alert is now in effect for Denali National Park and surrounding areas. This is not a test. On air. Source: the National Weather Service and Denali National Park Emergency Management. Effective immediately, an evacuation order is in place. Due to extreme wildfire conditions and unforeseen circumstances, all individuals within Denali National Park and within a 30-mile radius of the park boundary are ordered to immediately evacuate. The COS, multiple wildfires have been ignited within the park due to a combination of extremely dry conditions and unusual circumstances involving wildlife, specifically a stampede of Seneca. Their antlers have sparked numerous fires that are rapidly spreading. These fires are exacerbated by a lack of recent precipitation. Further complicating the situation, hostile gartocas have been reported within the park, posing an additional threat to human safety. Evacuation is mandatory. Do not delay. Immediate actions required. First, if you are within Denali National Park or within a 30-mile radius of the park boundary, begin evacuation immediately. Second, gather essential items only, including medications, identification, and critical documents. Also, bring water, food, blankets, and a first aid kit. Third, evacuate via the designated evacuation routes. Avoid traveling westward due to the primary fire zone. Head eastward towards safe zones established in Healy and Kentwell. Fourth, if you encounter gartocas, do not engage, seek immediate shelter, and report your location to emergency services via 911. If cell service is available, remain sheltered until authorities arrive. Fifth, be aware of rapidly changing fire conditions. Visibility may be limited due to smoke. Proceed with caution. Sixth, do not attempt to return to your homes or campsites until officials declare it safe. Seventh, listen to official instructions from emergency personnel and monitor this station or NOAA weather radio for updates. Evacuation centers are open in Healy and Kentwell, providing shelter, food, and medical assistance. Priority: your safety and the safety of others. This transmission will be repeated. This is an emergency. Act now. Transmission ends. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.
Quantum Laundry Lounge gives you a place to unwind or get business done while your laundry has a spa day. With free high-speed Wi-Fi, flat-screen TVs, and a cafe, you can work or play as you wait. Meanwhile, all your laundry is getting pampered in a way it can never be in a home laundry. Quantum's chemicals will leave your clothes brighter, softer.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. We interrupt this programming to bring you an urgent message. This is a regional emergency alert for the Anchorage, Alaska area. Attention all residents of Anchorage, this is not a test. A critical emergency is in progress. Within the last hour, over a dozen children between the ages of 4 and 13 have gone missing from their homes within the city of Anchorage. The circumstances surrounding these disappearances are currently unknown. No information regarding a potential abductor has been released at this time. This situation is extremely serious and requires your immediate attention and cooperation. Action required. Stay alert. All families with children between the ages of 3 and 15 are urgently advised to take the following precautions. First, ensure the immediate safety and security of your children. Keep your children close to you at all times. Do not allow them to play outside unattended, or to walk to school or other activities alone. Second, monitor your children's whereabouts carefully. Know where they are and who they are with at all times. Communicate with other parents, neighbors, and family members to coordinate safe watching. Third, be vigilant. Watch for any suspicious activity in your neighborhood. Report any unusual or concerning behavior to the Anchorage Police Department immediately. Do not hesitate. Fourth, stay tuned to local news outlets for further updates and information. The Anchorage Police Department will release updates as soon as they become available on air and online. Fifth, discuss this situation with your children in an age-appropriate manner. Reassure them that you are taking steps to keep them safe. Emphasize the importance of not talking to strangers and of immediately reporting anything that makes them feel uncomfortable. Repeat. All families with children between the ages of 3 and 15 are urgently advised to keep your children close and stay vigilant. This is a serious and ongoing situation. Your cooperation is essential to ensuring the safety of our children. We will continue to provide updates as they become available. Please remain calm and follow the instructions provided. This emergency broadcast transmission will be updated as soon as new information is available. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.
Good evening, Anchorage. Jenna Kunz here with Anchorage Daily News, back with a developing story. Over the last few hours, over a dozen children between the ages 4 and 13 have been abducted from their homes within the city of Anchorage. At this time, no photo or identity has been provided of the suspect. However, several social media pages have exploded with controversy on the potential for these kidnappings to be associated with one of the anomalous organisms spotted within Denali National Park. This has yet to be confirmed, and people are being told not to fearmonger such a claim. It is highly unlikely this is orchestrated by the organisms within the park. Authorities have warned all families within Anchorage to keep close to their children and monitor their surroundings with the aid of other parents within their neighborhoods. It is being warned to not allow your children to leave the house without extensive supervision, whether by the parent themselves or by their fellow neighbors. This situation is escalating quickly, and we will continue furnishing new updates as they become available. This is Jenna Kunz with Anchorage Daily News, signing off.
This is an emergency broadcast transmission. This is a statewide emergency alert for all residents of Alaska. A state of lockdown is now in effect. Repeat, a state of lockdown is now in effect across the entire state of Alaska. This is not a drill. We are on air with urgent information regarding public safety. In the past 6 hours, over 100 children, between the ages of 3 and 14, have gone missing across the state. The suspects have been identified as anomalous organisms, formerly located within Denali National Park. These entities are referred to as Naxkinaren. These creatures have been spotted in multiple locations across Alaska. At least 7 unique individuals have been confirmed. These organisms are extremely dangerous and pose an immediate threat to all human life, especially children. The Naxkinaren are believed to be targeting children specifically. Description of the Naxkinaren: heights vary between 15 and 25 feet tall, heavy fur covering their bodies, large heavy chains attached to their wrists and ankles, a large wooden bucket attached to their hunched backs, and a large uncanny smile, with a drooling forked tongue. Repeat, large uncanny smile, with a drooling forked tongue. Safety instructions are as follows. All residents are ordered to immediately seek shelter indoors. Lock all doors and windows, stay away from windows, and remain in a secure location. If you observe a Naxkinaren, do not approach it. Do not attempt to communicate with it. If a Naxkinaren attempts to attack you or others, lethal force is authorized. Repeat, lethal force is authorized by the Alaskan government. Protect yourselves and your families. Report all sightings of the Naxkinaren to the authorities immediately. Call 911. Provide your location and a detailed description of the creature. This is a critical situation. Your cooperation is essential for the safety of all Alaskans. We will continue this transmission with further updates as they become available. Stay tuned to this station for further updates. This is an emergency broadcast transmission. A message from the Alaska State Emergency Alert System. This is an informational alert. Repeat, this is an informational alert. Previous emergency alerts concerning the state of Alaska have now expired. Repeat, previous emergency alerts have now expired. The evacuation alert for Denali National Park is no longer in effect. Repeat, the evacuation alert for Denali National Park is no longer in effect. All previously affected areas are now open for normal activities. The wildfire threat across the state has been terminated. Repeat, the wildfire threat has been terminated. Air quality is now within acceptable levels. All reports of anomalous creatures within the state of Alaska have been addressed. Repeat, all reports of anomalous creatures have been addressed. There is no longer a threat from these sources. All missing children previously reported are now safe and have been returned to their homes. Repeat, all missing children have been safely returned home. Families have been reunited. There is no longer any imminent threat to human safety within the state of Alaska. Repeat, there is no longer any imminent threat to human safety. You may resume normal activities. The emergency situation has been resolved. Repeat, the emergency situation has been resolved. Thank you for your cooperation during this period of high alert. Repeat, thank you for your cooperation. This concludes this emergency alert system transmission. Repeat, this concludes this transmission. Stay tuned to this station for further updates.